This is my supplement for Guide 5. Let's jump right in. First, I want to show you the balance bar. It's that white bar underneath the red bar. As soon as you beat that down, that's when you can start pressing the F key, which gives you your invulnerability frames and ties up the other unit. However, doing so does reset the balance bar, so think about how you're going to use that. Still, if you know what you're doing, you can basically just beat skeletons down with your fist with no repercussion. Now, part of the reason we're doing this here is because, well, that ball bat almost never spawns there, and this blunderbuss, I said it right, is often bugged out. So many of you are finding yourselves forced to go to the crossbow. Some of you love the crossbow, and that's fine. Some of you probably hate the crossbow like me, because this thing is really headshot dependent, and I don't know about you, but I'm more of a shoot first, think never kind of guy, so headshots aren't really in my repertoire, so to speak. But anyway, if you have no choice, it's still better than nothing. Let's recap the Nobi cabin fight as well. You should have full Shemp sodas by the time you get here, but in this scenario, we're going to have the crossbow instead of the blunderbuss. I then found the living room a little bit easier to defend in than the kitchen, so this corner is where I decided to fight from. Now, if you've got the purple ball bat, you can just do a light attack and then press your special attack for an execute. Or, if you just happen to get lucky enough and the skeleton raises its shield, the purple ball bat will just straight up one-shot it. When the elites roll in, you really need to try and land the headshot. However, worst case scenario, if you do shoot the shield, it will still inflict a lot of damage to the balance bar, and you can still tear into them with the ball bat. I'll show you both methods here so you can see the difference between landing the headshot and accidentally whiffing into the shield. If you notice here, I did not press the F key the second it popped up on the first attack. I waited until I saw the elite begin its own attack and then used the F key as a means to cancel its attack. The exception, of course, being if the F key has a skull over it, because that means that it will be an execute that will kill the unit. After the Nobi cabin fight, make your way back up the hill to the Evil Ash fight. If you enter through that side cavern, it will be a little bit easier. There won't be as many skeletons to fight, and the way will be clear when you come out. There is also an elite at the back of the cave already there. Go ahead and take that out before the fight. Once Evil Ash spawns in, run all the way back here, hide behind these sandbags, and wait for him to hit you. He will have to walk around the sandbags to get a clear shot. When he does, you can then swing at him to back him off, or if you can, just take off to the other side. I do like allowing him to get the hit just because it helps burn time off the clock. Then just run away to the far end of the cavern. Don't run up the hill yet. You can get stuck up there, and that's not a good place to be. Again, wait for the hit, and then run all the way back here. He may run after you just like he did here, but just wash, rinse, repeat. Just keep running from Evil Ash. You don't need to fight or do anything or land any hits. You can just kite him around. Once the timer gets low, you can run up here to the back, because it doesn't matter if you get trapped at this point. This part's not much different than before. The blunderbuss and the crossbow both are capable of shooting out the flute players, allowing you to stay far enough away that you don't trigger the ambush portals. In the original guide, I showed you triggering some of the portals just so you could see what happens if you played the scenario a little sloppy, showing that it was still pretty easy to get through. Here we played a little bit cleaner, and of course we're using crossbow this time, so headshots are a little bit more important, so we do focus on making sure we land those. So, just like before, systematically make your way through your compound, dealing with elites primarily by headshotting them down instead of meleeing your way through. The final flute player in the backyard does not have ambush portals around it, so just to save a little bit of ammo, you can go ahead and melee it down. But you're not really going to need your ammo too much from this point on. You can also shoot it if you want. Up to you. Now, here's one of the big changes and something that was pointed out in the comments section. There's a ton of loot in this mansion, so do not not grab the sword until you loot the entire house. There are several Shemp's Colas and amulets and a legendary blunderbuss. So you should be leaving here with 3 sodas and 3 amulets. Run out to the car and make a mad drive all the way back to the Ash Portal. Now, if you really want to get min-maxy, just drive the old car right into the cave, man. You can ram it in there, and then you don't have to fight a single skeleton, by golly. So, just like with the Ash fight, I want to try and show you an even easier way to get through these fights. Make sure you go ahead and preemptively amulet up, and to handicap myself, I'm going to drink a Shemp's when I really don't need to. I do this fight twice, so you can see 2 Deadite fights, 2 Ash fights. I'm going to show you 2 different methods to go about it. The first one we utilize dodge more and heavy attacks. The dodge is a lot easier to land if you step away from the Deadite. It's a lot more telegraphed. The other thing is when you hit the Deadite, it will almost always immediately swing back. So you might just want to like hit and then dodge. Hit and then dodge. And just use heavy attacks. Every time without fail, the Pit Deadite has always dropped additional resources. Make sure that you make a note of where those are on the floor, go ahead and re-amulet up, heal if you need to, and then look for opportunities to pick up those resources. When Evil Ash summons in additional skeletons, just shoot them down with the blunderbuss. That is the easiest way to deal with them. Although you are using Excalibur, you can like light attack and special attack them out pretty easily as well. When it comes to fighting Evil Ash himself, he does a lot of this bravado stuff where he just walks around, twirls his sword, laughs, so on and so forth. You really shouldn't be dancing around the room like I'm doing right now. You can just lay into him with heavy attack spam. Honestly, that's really all there is to the Evil Ash fight, is just if you're topped off and you have a heal in spare or in tow, you just heavy attack this guy to death, man. He's really not hard to take down if you've got resources at all. Here's a good example of using the execute to avoid damage. Remember, while you're in that animation, you're invincible, and any attacks Evil Ash throws at you won't hurt you. Okay, round 2 with the Pit Deadite. In this one, we're going to use the F key to cancel the attacks of the Deadite way more than we're going to dodge. This will cancel damage just like dodges will. It's just a different way to go about it. And of course, heavy attack spam is the key to both of these fights, Evil Ash and the Pit Deadite. It just does a ton more damage. You should not be light attacking these. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, what if I utilize both dodging and attack canceling with the F key? Yeah, that's the optimal solution, is do it all. But, you know, it's maybe something that is difficult for you to do, so you can focus on just dodging or just attack canceling with the F key if you want. Now, remember, when you go for the F key cancel, you ideally want to wait till you see an attack animation start, but the Pit Deadite is so aggressive that you can probably just spam the F key. Round 2 with Evil Ash. Again, there's really not much to this fight. It's just Deal with his ads however you want to deal with them. I recommend shooting them for the most part, but also, you know, landing some attacks or using those animations to avoid damage is also kind of helpful. When it comes to Evil Ash, just spam heavy attacks. Don't play around, don't dance around with him, just spam heavy attacks as fast and as aggressively as you can. Do be careful, if you sprint at Evil Ash and heavy attack, you'll perform a kick instead. So make sure you come to a full stop or use a light attack to stop your sprint and then go into heavies. I think the only time you stop spamming heavies is if you want to back off to grab a heal, which is pretty easy to do because Evil Ash is pretty passive. Just make sure that you use your heal early. Don't try and wait till the last second to heal, because he might decide to launch his little triple attack flurry, which does do quite a bit of damage. I hope this helps those of you who are still struggling with Mission 5, and as always, thanks for watching.